There are now more Americans than jobs for the first time since COVID. What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Dinah here. We do videos every Monday and Thursday. At least I try to do Monday and Thursday. And if you're interested in the videos, I talk about dating, I talk about finance, just real life stuff, just like the video you're watching. So if you enjoy it at any point, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the video, especially if you are new here. But let's jump into it. I saw this article the other day that was just crazy. And I saw videos about it from other content creators as well. But, I finally got to, reading. Whoa. It's reading in 2025. We're reading about how there are job openings of 7.18 million and then 7.24 million unemployed people. Yes, you heard that right. There are more people in America unemployed than job openings available, which is a scary time we're living in, right? And I think a lot of people who haven't been working, who've been recently laid off, or people who've just been looking for a job, I think a lot of these people can easily relate that, yeah, it's hard to get a job right now. Damn, why is it so damn hard, right? There's a couple of reasons. There's a couple of factors that, after doing some research and after just doing some internal just meditation and thinking on my own, because, you got to do that for YouTube videos. Don't just read off every article you can think of. There's a couple of reasons why I came to this conclusion. The first off thing is it's very obvious. AI, right? AI is taking away a lot of entry level jobs. A lot of the jobs that people need, fresh out of college are entry level. They're just basic data entry or some kind of very basic data manipulation or creating charts, cleaning up data, things like that. But nowadays, man, AI and automation can easily do that. AI and automation can easily just overdo a lot of admin stuff, and a lot of times admin stuff is very entry level, or it's very easy to get an admin job as an entry level person. But nowadays you don't need to, because why would a company pay somebody 40, 50K a year when they could just, build an AI or have somebody who's in their software team build an AI that eliminates that. And, that person is now going to say, oh, I built an AI that saves the company, 40K a year, 50K a year. And again, that's just one job, one company. You translate that across every single company, across different admin positions, not even just admin. There's tons of entry level stuff out there, and AI is just obviously taking out so much of that entry level stuff. So what's the solution there? You got to get on board with AI. You got to get not on board with AI, but you got to beat AI. You got to do what AI cannot do now, which obviously is not the easiest thing. Back in my day, back in a lot of people's days, they didn't have to deal with a huge super artificial intelligence computer thingy that is just dominating things. A lot of people just had basic things where a lot of people I work with nowadays, they can't even open Excel. They don't even know how to print things on Microsoft Word. Nowadays, man, the level of barrier to getting an interview even is just so high now. The competition is so fierce. And that's my next point. There are so many people who want the same job. Every single time you go on LinkedIn or Glassdoor or Indeed, anything like that, you're going to see, posted 4 hours ago, posted 5 hours ago, 200 plus applicants or something like that. It is insane. It's actually nuts how many people are looking at the same jobs, how many people are just applying for anything, and it kind of works or kind of makes sense, because when you're desperate, when you haven't been working for 4 months, 5 months, you got to put food on the table. What are you going to do? Just not apply to certain things? No, you're probably going to stretch your resume, your skill set, right? You're going to exaggerate a little bit, and you're going to make sure that you can put food on your freaking family's table. Because otherwise what? You're going to go broke? No, that's not going to happen, right? So it's crazy just how many people out there, need a job. The layoffs, obviously because of AI, because of just advanced competition, because it's why would you hire, some 22-year-old who doesn't know what they're doing when you can hire a 26-year-old who kind of knows what he's doing and then underpay him? Because guess what? That 26, 27-year-old, he's also desperate for a job as well. Same as the 22-year-old, except this time you can underpay him and he's going to be smarter. He's going to be more advanced and more experienced than some 21, 22-year-old who has no clue what he's doing in life. Another thing I want to mention about the interviewing process, is how long these hiring processes are. I don't know if you guys have been on interviews recently. I have a few friends, a few buddies of mine, and they're just talking about how it's so hard to transfer. These guys have 5-6 years of experience, of work experience, and they can't even get through interviews because or they get through some interviews and then it's just downhill from there. I think because of how much competition there is, companies have just, kind of what I say, women have, it's a seller's market essentially. they kind of have like a seller's mentality where it's like, oh, I can shop for more. I can, why would I, again, like, why would I hire a 22-year-old when I can hire a 27-year-old? Or like, in like a dating case, it's like, oh, why would I settle for this guy who's like 6 foot when I can get a guy who's 6'4"? Why would I settle for a guy who earns $60K a year when I can get one who earns $100K a year? So when you have like a seller's mentality, it often leads to people getting screwed over. And in this case, it's the unemployed people. It's the people looking for a job, seeking employment. These people are getting screwed over because the companies have all the power right now. And obviously that's not a great feeling, right? We definitely want to have that change because, again, that's not a good feeling. It doesn't make for good just business overall. Speaking along those lines, companies don't want to train new employees. Again, it's like, I'm going to hire a 30-year-old who's been in the industry for 5 years, 6 years over somebody who has, 4 months of experience because that person is going to be able to help me faster. I'm not going to have to waste my time, my manager's time, my coworkers' time. I'm not gonna have to waste anybody's time training because this guy is caught up to speed. He knows what he's doing already. And so again, Gen Z and the younger people, they're getting screwed over. It's literally like that meme where it's like, we need somebody who's like under 22 with 5 years of experience, and like that kind of joke, right? It's like, well, how is that possible? You know what I mean? You're asking for the moon and back. People don't realize just how absurd, companies are treating people nowadays. Like they're treating new prospect employees. They're just doing whatever they can because they can do whatever they want. There's no one to say like, if it was a buyer's market where like employees could choose like, oh, do I want to work at Apple or Microsoft? Like, I don't know. Apple has like, more work from home days or something like that. Those days and that era is like right now completely gone. You have no choice, right? If somebody is willing to give you a job and it's underpaid as hell for you, you're probably still going to take it because you need food on the table, right? There's no option where it's like, I can't, choose what I want. Maybe you can negotiate a little bit, right? Of course you can do a little bit, but you can't just pick whatever you want. It's not like that kind of era anymore. It's not that kind of system and game. One more thing I want to mention is ghost jobs. Companies have no intention of hiring. They'll put up 4 or 5 roles. I've interviewed at companies like this where they'll put up 4 or 5 roles and then I will like, just not see anybody there when I'm interviewing. They're saying like, oh yeah, we're interviewing like one more person or whatever. Like it's clear that they have no intention of hiring. And then guess what? I don't get the job either, right? They have no intention of hiring. They're putting it up for budget purposes. They're just trying to appear a certain way for then maybe they're just trying to appear a certain way for their shareholders or stockholders, right? Like ghost jobs are a real thing. And again, they also suck. It's not fun to get led on, whether it's in dating or jobs or anything. I feel like Gen Z, like, sorry guys, but like Gen Z, it's really easy to feel kind of screwed right now. I kind of understand why people feel so upset these days. And I don't want to end this video off by just being all doom and gloom. And it's like, oh, you'll never get a job. I don't want to do that. That's not productive. And again, on this channel, especially if you're new, I want to be productive. I want to share things, share wisdom, share insight of things that I learned and things that I think can help, the viewer, right? You're spending your time watching this video of mine, probably leaving a like and probably leaving a comment. So I want to do you guys a little bit of a favor here. I want to give you guys a couple of tips on how to stand out a little bit. And this is what you get when you watch one of my videos. You get a little bit of tips. You get a little bit of advice that'll hopefully help you along your journey. So first thing, slow down. Okay. I know it's very, very tempting to just be like, oh, I have 5 hours today. I got to do, 100 applications an hour. I got to send 500 out. That'll improve my chances. No, just slow down. What I will say is quality beats quantity in this case to a degree. I'm not saying do one application every month. Okay. Obviously be smart, but you don't need to spam apply. I would rather see, like if I was a recruiter, for instance, like, and I'm not, so don't take this word as like gospel or anything like that. This is just my opinion and my research from what I've done. I think it's much, much better to see a well thought out application with a, unique cover letter, a tailored resume than, if you're an AI or if you're just a HR going through the resumes and everything like that, just like seeing the same like copy paste and there's no identification about the company. There's no reason why you want to work at this company in particular. There's no reason, or there's no like messaging. I messaged this person on LinkedIn or I'm a fan of this company because XYZ, and it's like very unique and detailed. Those kind of things pay dividends in the long run. And you're not going to be able to do that on 500 applications a day. You're probably only going to be able to do that for like 5 to 10. But I think it's much better to spend your time, if you can normally do like 50 applications, it's much better to just hone it down and do like a solid like 5 to 10 per day. Also, you don't want to burn yourself out too. I think that's a big thing. Like I said before, I also think that you should really, really try to tailor each resume specific to the company. Okay. They're going to notice that and they're going to appreciate that. It's just like with women, right? If you, if you give like a generic comment, like to a girl, it's like, oh, I like your shoes. I like your eyes. You can say that about anybody. But if it's like, oh, I really like the way that you treat this person because of the example and blah, blah, blah. People are going to appreciate that more when you're more specific, when you know what you're talking about. And when when people can tell you're genuine, I think that pays a lot of dividends as well. And the last thing I'll do to help you guys out, to give you guys a piece of advice, is to potentially you don't necessarily have to do this. And sometimes it's not possible, but I would recommend going to the actual company and then reaching out in person. Just tell them, hey, I applied, this is my name. This is my application. Like, just wanted to see, have you guys sent it? Obviously don't apply at like don't apply at like 8 a.m. and then go there at like 6 p.m. or something like that. Like, obviously, like, give them a little time. If it's been like a week or something and they haven't said anything, they haven't emailed you back or no one's hit you up, I wouldn't, I think I'd wait at least a few days, maybe like 4 or 5 days. Don't go like same day or next day. Okay, that's not gonna fly. You're gonna look a little too desperate. But that's just some of the advice that I think could work. It's just stuff that I think if I was an employer, if I was a recruiter, I'd be like, oh, okay, this guy's going the extra mile. This guy's actually trying. He's not just using ChatGPT like the rest of these bozos. Hopefully this video helps. If you're new here, again, leave a like, subscribe. Go ahead and write in the comment section, Dravik, because that is the gun that's on screen right now. At least that's what I'm seeing. I don't know about you guys. The Dravik, okay? Just you spell it however you want. That'll let me know you guys stuck around to the end. I appreciate you guys so much, man. We're growing so fast. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on the job market right now? If you have a job, if you're struggling to get a job, let me know. I'll be curious to read in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys later. Peace.